we get black tape for right here?
Yeah, well, we got the duct tape, or I got black tape up there. Okay, we're gonna get this baby fired up, see if the brakes work, and check the throttle works. Okay, switch on, start, choke. Alright, try the throttle. Alright, now we can try the brake. We're up for speed test redo. And let's see, we got a recording this time. I forgot to hit record. And the gas cable pulled out the first time. So now we're going for it. Alright, looks like we're maxed out about 23. We got a big gear and a... Okay, that time it worked. We got the governor on and a huge sprocket, so it could be re-geared and get rid of the governor. It'd really rip. Alright, so the back cart evolution led to the custom. We got 2-inch pipe or 2-inch tubing right here, and some bigger Harbor Freight tires, and custom made levers to control everything. And right now it's a little bit rusted, but it's just all, I just buffed the metal. And in the same kind of brake design, the brake just grabs the clutch right there, and that just works sweet. And a nice little Harbor Freight motor. So give it a shot. Alright, electric go-kart attempt. Got the light switch, runs the solenoid, and all three of the Romex wires soldered together here. So chart said that 14 gauge can handle 30 amps, so what the heck, there's 3 wires there, so it's about 120 amps it can handle. My interstate battery out of my car, some Harbor Freight tires, and some little Razor scooter tires, a Honda Civic starter, a 95 Camaro timing gear. They seem to match up pretty good. It's just barely smaller than the Razor tires, but once these wear out, it won't last for long. Alright, there it is. She's a beaut. So you flip the switch, and you're ready to race. It just, the Bendix just kicks in and out, just like it normally would. Alright, let's give it a race. Okay, start with our 2 little metal strips. We'll tack weld the ends together, and then Carmen will run a bead down the middle. Get our welding helmet. Alright, go for it. Yeah, exactly. Just nice and tight and keep your tip close. Nice. Beautiful. Yeah, hold on, let's take a look at that. Alright, nice and hot, good penetration. Oops. We'll zoom back out here. Nice and, yeah, looks good. Excellent. A second. So let's see. You're left-handed, and you're going to start with your heat on this side. So you probably want to be on this side. It'll there you go. Yeah, or else this end, because you want to be pointing at this piece, because that piece is going to require the most heat.
Yeah, right here would be better.
Yeah. So you just get where it's comfortable.
I guess on over there, I mean. Screw that up.
You're stuck. Good. Yeah, just leave it there.
It was burning really fast.
Yeah, so make sure you keep your heat on this one over here, because this side takes the most heat. And so yeah, see it started to cut away a hole over there. It's because it got real hot on that side. So keep your heat on this side. Okay. Let it puddle up kind of deep on this side, and then bring that puddle over, and then over. So you hang on this side for a little bit and then go over. Nice. Sweet. That filled it in great. Yeah. Excellent.
Start right here or start here?
Yeah, start down there at the bottom. Yeah, there you go. Hang on a second. Let me turn your heat up. Oh, turn the heat up over here. There we go. Nice. Sweet. That's good. Nice. Looking like a frame. Okay, the back cart is coming along great. I just wanted to show a couple tips of how I made the certain parts of it, like the hubs and the front steering. And but first I'll start with the bat wheel. I just got these round scraps from the metals yard, and it was cheap. It was 48 cents a pound, and it's 1/4 inch. And I just found a Batman logo on the internet, printed out to fit about the same size, and then milled it out on my little Rong Fu mill. And so that worked out kind of sweet. And the steering worked out really, really clean. It was just really nice. So what I did was use for the front steering here, I got 1/2 inch schedule 40, because it fits a 5/8 bolt great. So I got a 5/8 drill, and that 5/8 drill cleans up the seam on the inside, and that way that bolt will fit in it good. And then these wheels from Harbor Freight are like $4, and they're a 5/8 bearing inside. So I just welded the 1/2 inch schedule 40 pipe right here, put a bolt through it, welded another bolt on that one right there, and then a little spacer here, and then that's my front steering right there. And then for the actual steering control, I just welded these pieces on here, set the wheels straight forward, set this 3/16 rod on here, and marked the 3/16 rod where the holes were, and then welded little quarter 20 bolts on there, and then just set the steering wheel straight, and then marked the rod where I needed this bolt to go. And since all these are just the same distance out here, it works sweet. I mean, when you turn, it all just leans together real nice. And it's really simple. It just all leans, stays the same space, and works really good. And if it's a little bit weak, I'll get some thicker rod later and fix it if it's not strong enough. It starts giving me problems, but that's a place to start. Got the frame design off of the internet, so it's a nice little frame design. So the next thing was how to get the rear wheels to go, and I knew I was going to be using these cheap Harbor Freight tires, so I got some hubs off the internet. These are 1-inch hubs with a 1/4-inch keywing in them. They were 25 bucks a piece, so that's 50 bucks right here. And then I still got to put tires on them. Well, I wanted to figure out how to just use these cheap Harbor Freight tires and get them on my 1-inch axle. So I popped the bearings out, and it turns out the inside diameter is about the size, a little bit larger than a 1/8 Schedule 40 pipe. Schedule 40 pipe, 1 inch is 1 inch inside diameter, so I knew that'd fit on my axle. And then all I had to do was get it to drive somehow, so then I cut a slot in it and got some 1/4-inch key stock, and then just welded the key stock in there. So then I cut that 1-inch pipe, welded the key stock in. I set everything. I set the pipe on the axle with the 1/4-inch key stock in the slot. That way I knew it was at the right depth. And then welded the key stock into the pipe while it was on the axle. And that way this key stock would be at the right depth and nice and tight. It turns out this pipe, it's a little bit floppy on the axle, but it's going to work for now. It's cheap enough. And you get this 1-inch Schedule 40 pipe. You can go down there and buy a 6-inch, 12-inch section for $5, or else go to the scrap yard and we'll check the scrap pile. They might have it right sitting in there. So that worked out really clean. Then welded it on the hub. So for $3, I turned a $4 tire into a $7 tire with a keyway. And this is a $13 tire. It's more like a wheelbarrow hub on the bigger tire and back. And so it just, same thing, it's got the keyway in there. And it just slides on really nice. And it's a good lock. It was a little bit loose, but I just put some, you can see the gap right there. It's a little bit of a loose fit. So I just welded some little spots inside of here and filed them off to where it fit a little more snug. Got the bearing set and got the hangers, the flangettes, and the bearings for about 30 bucks on eBay. Got the axle for 40 bucks on eBay. Got the drive sprocket back here for 40 bucks on eBay, including shipping. And then I got these split lock collars you can get for about $3 at the hardware store. If you're in a bigger town with a real hardware store, you can get this clutch for around 30 bucks on eBay if you keep your eyes peeled. And so that worked the whole drive. So now I'm going to try to figure out how to make my own axle later. But so that's the steering and the hubs for really cheap. And that's coming along. We got to finish up the seat, and I'm going to work on a disc brake mechanism that uses the sprocket back here and clamps on the sprocket. So I'm going to work on that next. Over and out. Okay, the bat cart is coming along great. I think I'm done with all the details. I got some handles mounted on either side of the bat sign. I got some random bicycle levers and some Walmart bicycle cable kit. And so this side's the brake. And I tried to make some disc brakes to mount back here on the sprocket, but that didn't work. So now I'm going to try breaking the clutch. So all it is I just got some RTV and some leather, glued the leather on here to this angle iron, and it's slotted. So I'm going to go back and forth and just clamp the clutch. So it's a 10-tooth to a 60-tooth sprocket, so that's, I guess, about 6 times power increase. Or maybe it's that diameter to my sprocket's diameter. Anyhow, it's going to multiply my braking force a little bit, which is nice because we're using hand brakes. I'm using hand brakes instead of foot brakes, so your hand isn't going to have as much power as your foot. So there, and I made some shoulder bolts. So the bolts bottom out on the case and hold the angle iron fairly snug. And then I just drilled a hole through the oh, I gotta back up where I can focus here. Drill a hole through the center of this bolt so my cable could go in it. Just pop that out, and then just drill a hole through this bolt so I could clamp these washers against the cable, and I'll hold it tight, and it'll grip that sucker. So then you just grab those cables and whoop, there it goes. That works really sweet, nice and smooth. That's working good. Same thing with the gas. And the gas was just a pretty simple connect. Grab the throttle. So that worked really nice. And then just, that works really sweet. Routed my cables. Let's see here. Got my cables just along the seat down here. That worked real nice. This one comes up. I didn't have to cut that one at all, but the brake cable I had to shorten, so I cut it down. And everything's mounted on that one.